Okay. I'd keep it on that other view, though.
Hello, hello, everybody.
Hello, ladies.
Happy Saturday. Let me put something prettier to look at over here. That's pretty. It's Dress My Craft. It's even up on my YouTube. Whoop, whoop. And it is muted. Nice.
Like, uh-oh.
Dibs. Hi, Margie. Hi, Toby. Hi, Linda. We get Linda for a few minutes. Yeah, Linda. She's still awake, but not for very long. Let's see. Hi, Laura. Hello, everybody. Jello, Laura. Jello. I thought I saw Glennis.
Yeah, she was there earlier.
Glennis is gone. Okay, there she is. Yeah, she'll be back. She's probably just getting set up. Hi, Sandy. Getting set up, and then she'll be back at start time. We thought we would just come in 5 minutes early and, kind of shock you. Do we need to send EMTs to Margie's house to restart her heart? Yeah, everybody be quiet. Don't keep Linda awake.
Oh, no, keep her awake.
Lots of flowers on our desk, huh? Oh, Sandy. Oh, hang on. We've got a couple minutes till start. Figured if we go in early, it'll send the notification that we're live to everybody, and everybody else will get in here. Meanwhile, I'm going to send you a message, Sandy. I forgot to send it earlier, so I'm going to send it now. Let's see.
Oh my God, Fearless Leader early? Who are you and what did you do to our Fearless Leader?
And what did you do with our real Fearless Leader?
Taken over by the pod people.
Oh, come on. Okay, Sandy, shooting you a message now, and I will follow up later because I have a little bit more information. So, but at least I won't forget. Sandy, there you are. Send. Okay. Uh-oh. No, it's good. It's all good. It's all good. Can't wait to see the project that Sandy has in mind for the new Sir Vagabond Aviator.
Oh,
It's going to be awesome.
I'm going to go get it.
Okay.
That's the least expensive one.
Home Depot. Okay.
Yeah. And I checked Spectrum. The biggest one they have is 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm really disappointed in that.
Yeah.
They had one that was 75, but that's overkill. That was it.
Commercial.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, honey. Are you taking Lucy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Bye. Bye. Oh, you know what? I just looked up on the screen. There are a lot of pretty flowers on our desk.
Yeah.
I got flowers here and flowers here, and then you got flowers there and there and there. I like that black and white in the middle. That looks very familiar. So far, it's clear on my YouTube. It's not blurry. Is it clear for you?
Yeah.
The station that handles all the sprinklers system for the entire yard, 16 stations, decided to die. He said, yeah, it's been going slowly for the last year or two, but it just died today. So he has to go buy a new one. So, oh well, he'll be back. He'll be back. Are we 6 o'clock yet? We are 6 o'clock straight up. Whoop, whoop. All right. Hi, Judy. Not a Fowler. Fowler. What are Fowlers? Like, I know people whose last name is Fowler. Like fowl? Like, oh, flowers. So many Fowlers. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, hi. Oh, shoot. Sorry, Margie. Boy, that was bad. That was bad. I was really slow on that one. So
I was
many
in
colors.
great.
Candy does sound a lot better, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yes, she does. Yes, Doug planted a whole bunch of fowlers out in front of the front patio. We have a patch that goes along the sidewalk when you walk out the front door, and it's she isn't really. We planted a whole bunch of fowlers out there today, so that was cool. And there's even a couple surprises under the ground that might come up later. Okay, can we get started? Because I'm excited to make another one of these. Okay, no time for me playing games with grandkids. Oh, how fun! I'm playing games with the kids, so she's watching but not hearing. Oh, that's okay, Glennis. You can hear later, but well, she can't hear anybody say this anyway. She'll get it by watching. Okay, so Candy, I don't even know which one it is that you put to change the screen. The project we're doing today, I didn't really know what else to call it except a Flippy pocket.
He went blurry. He went blurry. Yeah.
All right. I'll give it a second.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really weird. I'm going to grab a couple of tags here. That's what I'm going to do. That need to go in those pockets. While it decides to get unblurry. I didn't make this specifically for this, but they're gonna work for this right now. Just because. Yes, oh, bless you. Let's see here. Let's see. Oopsie. We're going to have a tag or two or three in there for demonstration, right? So, okay. So this is what it is. I'm going to move slowly. I can still speak normally. Who surprises underground? Yeah, maybe zombies. Good to hear that you sound better, Candy. That's what they're saying. And it is. And she does. And yay. Okay, so this is a Flippy pocket folio. It can be used. This is the prototype. We're going to do it just a hair different tonight because I made like a tiny little spine, just giving it a couple of scores. But I think we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to simplify that just a little bit. This was inspired by my porch prints. I always like to say inspired by, not duplicate of, because we never make things exactly like whoever's we look at and we're inspired by, and I would not want to profess to be making it exactly like hers and make her look bad. So inspired by, not duplicate of. So the Flippy pockets, these are the Flippy pockets. Let's get us some tags in these Flippy pockets. Tags or journal cards can go in these Flippy pockets. Let me bring it up a little higher there. There we go. So there's the top pocket, flips out. And the bottom pocket. We'll put this one in here. Bottom pocket, flips out. And the center pocket flips out. So then, hi Gigi, then you could put another pocket here and tuck some things in here. You could leave this as journaling space, which would be nice. On the left-hand side, you could put a pocket here. You could put a corner tuck. You could put a big pocket down the side and tuck things in there, or you could leave this as journaling space. Okay, and so this is intended that you could put this in a journal and you could glue this right onto the page. And so you turn the page and you come to this and it's like a something that opens on the page. It's not a whole nother page. It opens on the page, and you could have journal space here or tucks with tags or journal cards, and the Flippy here, trying to go slowly, and the Flippy here. I'm learning to slow down, and the Flippy here. I really am. And then you turn the page, and this would be attached to the bottom of the page. So you turn the whole page. Or you could leave it free floating, or you could turn it into a folio and like I said, put a side pocket here, a corner tuck, a bottom pocket, whatever it is, one on the back, even one on the front if you wanted. But it'd be cool with something, up here on the front, and then have it a little folio in its own, and then use it individually. So it can be just as a folio, not as part of a journal even. So there's many different ways that you can do that. I made this one to use pretty much by itself. Some ideas of what I'm going to do with it afterwards. And so I made it out of a thicker. This is Dress My Craft, which, as you know, is very heavy paper. If I'm going to do it to put in a journal, which is what I'm going to do now, I will use a lighter paper, scrapbook paper or coffee dyed paper, or coffee dyed scrapbook paper. So that's what I have here is coffee dyed scrapbook paper. That's what I'm going to use. I've got 2 of those here. I've also got some just 8.5 by 11 pieces. I pulled this out and thought, well, that would make a pretty one if I put it this way. Glued the bottom on, and then the butterflies, that's the top cover. That would be pretty. Some of you have that paper, and a lot of you have this one with the roses. Stationery, that would be very pretty in a journal, glued down with that as the top cover. So I will probably end up doing one with that as well. Okay, so who is making along with us tonight?
I am.
This would be great happy mail. Yeah, it would be great stuffed with cards. You could actually put a ton of pockets in there and use it to store tags or certain kind of cards, or I kind of thought the same, Margie. It is a weird name, Dress My Craft. But then I decided it's because their paper is so pretty that whatever your craft is, whatever you're doing, they figure their paper will dress it up and make it look better. And it's true. It always does. So I figured that would be, maybe where it came from. I don't know. Judy, we have in the files in the group, in Happy Paper People, there is a file called RAK, R-A-K, Random Act of Kindness. And does it come to us naked? Yes, and we have to dress it up, Margie. And in there, anybody who comes into the group that wants to can add their name and address in there. And if you choose to send out happy mail, you can go in there and pick somebody. Their address should be there, and send out a happy mail as a surprise if you would like. And if anybody hasn't added your address to that rack, please do, to that rack list. Please do. It's nice to get a surprise. And sometimes somebody wants to send something as a surprise without having to ask you. It is a private group, so nobody can just access that list and, use it for whatever weird things in the world. So, okay, so Toby's going to do it.
It is pinned to the top of the page, ladies, up there in the...
Oh, that's true. Yes. I pinned that one, and I pinned... What was the other one that I pinned up there recently? Anyway, I don't know. Something that I want to make sure everybody...
The Etsy stores.
Yeah, there was something else for people, for their a list for something to be able to find it real easily. I can't remember. Oh, it might have been I might have pinned the affiliate list.
Not yet. You haven't updated. I'm still updating. It'll be updated there too.
Okay, that's not the one I was thinking of, though.
It's not there yet. I'll pin it up there when I do it.
Gigi, try refreshing. If that doesn't work, try restarting your device. And Margie will send us all cat hair. Oh, Margie, I've got enough dog hair. If you send me cat hair, I'm sending you dog hair. Or Marianne hair. There's probably as much Marianne hair as there is Lucy hair. Okay, so Sandy's going to do it with us. Toby's going to do it with us. Probably Gigi, if she can get her computer or device up My doggy hardly ever barks. He's going crazy right now. Oh, that's funny. There must be something outside. Or weather. Sometimes the wind goes crazy, and Lucy goes crazy when the wind goes crazy. Okay, so we are going to start with an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I happen to have a 12 by 12, and it was already folded in half. So it's been determined for me that it's going to sit this way. So I need to cut this down to 8.5 by 11. So I have a small cutter here, and maybe you have scissors. Maybe you don't have a long cutter. And you know what? You don't have to. You don't have to have all the things. And you don't have to worry about, doing everything exactly this way or that way. When I'm not doing things, I think Candy's this way too. When I'm not doing things on air with you guys, I rarely ever measure them. I just do them. And, I'll do okay, I know I start with an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, but then if I fold it in half, my pocket needs to be that width. So I put the thing I want to make the pocket up to it, make a mark and cut it there. I just don't want you guys to get hung up on measurements. I think recently sometimes we're getting hung up on things like that. Things that really aren't super important. Nope, no cat here, Toby says. Okay, so I know if this is 12 inches long and 12 inches wide, that means folded, it should be 6, right? Because it's folded in half, and it is. But that means either one direction or the other. I just need to cut 1 inch off, right, to make it 11. And then the other direction needs to be 8.5. Well, it's already folded for me. And I know that I need 11 this way and 8.5 this way. So I'm going to first find the 8.5 this way. 8.5. Oh, I'm going to take you right down math land. I'm going to show you how easy this is without having a big trimmer, without having all kinds of fancy tools. It's just so easy. If this is a 12-inch piece of paper and I want it to be 8.5 inches, how much do I need to cut off? 8.5 from 12. If it was 9, that would be 3 inches, right? 9, 10, 11, 12. 3 inches plus an extra half makes 8.5. So I need to cut off 3.5 inches. So all I'm going to do is put this in this trimmer, and I'm going to put it on the 3.5 mark, and I'm going to cut off 3.5 inches.
Or you just use what you have.
Yeah.
Because after buying umpteen dollars worth of goodies from Marianne.
Well, I'd show you how to use those too, but all I'm saying is don't get hung up if you don't have the stuff or don't have the stuff yet, or you don't have maybe what Candy's using or what I'm using. It doesn't matter.
Hi, Amanda.
You can do this stuff. Okay. In your head, we just figured we need to cut 3.5 inches off the 12-inch paper to make it 8.5. It's now 8.5. This 12-inch paper needs to be 11 because I wanted 8.5 by 11, which means I need to cut an inch off the end, right? It's already got a fold in it, and I'm going to leave it there. So if it's 11 and I fold it in half, how wide would it be? 5.5. 5.5 and 5.5 is 11, right? So I'm going to put this in the trimmer, and I'm going to put it on 5.5. And I'm doing this because if I cut 1 inch off the end and I go back to my fold, one side's going to be an inch longer than the other one. This will cut 1/2 inch off of both sides because it's already folded. If it wasn't already folded, I would just cut it off one end. But this paper was already folded. So now I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. It's already folded, ready to go. It's that simple. Seriously. Seriously, people, it's that simple. No, 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch on, yep, 1/2 inch on each end. Perfect. All right, so there's my 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. That is the outside of my folio. And this is just coffee dyed scrapbook paper. Okay, so now we're going to do this part. And because I'm using coffee dyed scrapbook paper, I'm not putting anything over on this side because I want to be able to see the coffee dye, and that's perfect for journaling on. or writing on, or maybe I'll put a little pocket or a little decoration or embellishment or stamp something on it and still be able to write on it. Okay, so this side here is where we're going to do the flippy pockets. It freezes and then it goes, and then it freezes and it goes. It's not blurry, it just keeps freezing. It's weird.
Oh, mine's not freezing.
No,
Not-
oh good. Is yours blurry?
No, not now.
Mine hasn't been blurry, it just keeps freezing. Only for a couple seconds at a time. Okay. Candy's been working on updating the affiliate list in the group. A lot of cool products. Yeah, putting it by grouping by categories like glues and adhesives and things like that, and tools, and some things that you guys have given me that you thought might be of interest to everybody. We're going to be careful not to load it up with just everything we all buy off Amazon, but the things that we all use and use regularly, adhesives or a really cool bargain on paper, or things like that we can't get regularly. So if you have something that you really, really like on Amazon, shoot me the link. We'll take a look at it and get an affiliate link to Candy that she can add to the group. So if you go in and click on any of those links in that file, it will be an affiliate link that goes in, and we really appreciate you supporting Happy Paper People so we can keep sending out happy mail and prizes. Okay, so we want to make our flippy flappy pockets first. And let me just give you the order of how things go here. We're going to put the pockets down first. They're going to be on hinges. After they're down, we'll put a piece of paper over them because then it covers the hinges. Got it? Super easy. Making a folio with a file folder base, some kind of way. Oh, cool. That's a great, see, that works perfectly, Amanda. It's a little bit stiffer and you could use it as a folio on its own. I like that too. Okay, so now what we're going to do is choose what paper you want to make your 3 flippy pockets with. So let me set these guys aside. Put this over here in case we need those for decorating. They can be the same. You can have 2, like one pocket, one style, one print, and then the second one something opposite, and the third one the same. Every other one, it really doesn't matter. And you can have them plain too, because you could decorate. You can decorate the pockets after the fact. We plan on putting some decorations or embellishments or something on them. Okay. And then you can also, while you're deciding what paper you want to use as the pockets, decide what paper you want to be this one that you put over the top. So if you see something cool and you're like, oh, I'd like that to be that one, well, just set that aside. That would actually be a very cool one right there, wouldn't it? I think maybe I will set that aside for that. Okay, so if that is on the bottom, and what do I want on top of that? Let's see. Gotta pick my paper. Ooh, that's cool looking. I could do 3 out of that easily. Maybe I want, let's see, make sure they're still matching. They are, that's good. Something minty, something minty. These are not minty, just minty color. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, I'm going to use those 2. That's what I'm going to do. All right, So if you notice, the 3 pockets are not the same size. The one on the top is larger. The one in the middle is middle-sized, and the one on the bottom is smaller. You could do them opposite. You could put the large one on the bottom, the small one on the top. Maybe I'll do that this time. Doesn't matter. But they're not the same size. But you also notice that these two overlap the center one by the same amount. So it's pretty much centered between those two. Okay, just giving you a big picture. So as I tell you what to cut, you'll know why and see where you're going with it. Okay, so I'm going to cut 3 pieces of paper for these 3 pockets. This is going to be 1 piece of paper that is twice this long, and I'm going to fold it in half to make this pocket, and then I only have to glue the bottom and this side, and I'm going to glue it onto a tab. Same thing here. I'm going to cut a piece of paper that is twice this long, so I only have to glue on the bottom and this side. It's a hinge, not a tab. I'm going to glue it onto a hinge. Okay, so these 3 pockets, let me start out here. If you took your 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and you folded it in half, which you need to do, mine was already folded. But if you folded yours in half, then it's now 5.5 inches wide, right? And so you need to make it just shy of the 5.5 inches because you want to allow enough room when you put it in here that it will still be able to close. So if you don't like to measure, you can go 11 inches, and then when you go to put it in, just cut a little bit off. But if you want to measure, then if this is 5.5, I'm going to go to the notch just below it, which is 5 3/8. And that's where I want that pocket to end. So let's do this the easy way. We're going to cut each of these pieces of paper 11 inches long because that's twice this amount where it's laying, 11 inches long. And then we're just going to trim a little bit off of it, which is easy because this paper that I'm using is 11 inches long. Oh, darn, I wanted that to go that direction. I can't do that. It's going to have to go this direction. Okay, so you're going to need 3 pieces. The top one is, where's my scratch paper that I wrote them down on? Can't find it. The top one's 4 inches. The center one is 3 inches, and the bottom one 2 1/4. Yep, 2 1/4. Okay, so you need 3 pieces of paper for your pockets. One is 4 inches by 11 inches. The next one is 3 inches by 11 inches. That's the center one. And the bottom one is 2 1/4 inches by 11 inches. So let's cut those first. So let's see. I need to decide which I want to be which pocket to decide how wide to cut it. I'm going to let this be the center. So this one's going to be 3 inches. And you know what? You don't even have to have a long cutter to cut paper that's longer than your cutter. I cut 12-inch paper all the time on this mini trimmer when I just want to leave it on my desk and not be having to move things around all the time. Really, if you can line up the notch, you can cut long paper. Okay, so there's my 3-inch by 11-inch for my center pocket. All right, so then my top one, there's my bottom one, or vice versa. Doesn't make any difference. I make that before. Make that the 2.5. I think I'll do that. All right, I think I'll make this one the 4-inch. because I like all the color on that piece. There's my 4 by 11. And now I need one that is 2.5 by 11. Perfect. Oh no, Margie just discovered her Cadbury eggs don't have caramel in them. They have fudge. Fudge.
Yuck.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Margie, are the fudge as good as the caramel?
No.
I can't imagine. I just discovered the caramel last year. Thank you very much, you guys. Oh, Laura said fudge is definitely better than caramel, but it's surrounded in chocolate. So isn't the caramel better? Isn't the fudge just over? I can't believe I'm saying
like
this.
fudge. I don't
But
like
isn't
fudge.
the fudge just overkill?
Yeah, it's too much.
Oh, it is better. She said it is better. Wow, I can't believe it. I've never had those either. I only found caramel first time last year, so all right. So here's my 3 pockets. 4-inch, 3-inch, and 2.5-inch. Right there. 4-inch, 3-inch, and 2.5-inch. I think I might put the 4-inch on the bottom on this one and the 2.5 on the top. Ooh, it looks like that should go right there. Yes, it does. So I should probably do it that way. So you can see that, either that or leave it this way and turn it upside down. So is it that side? No, it's that side. It's that side. Okay, so they either go that way. That's really interesting. Maybe I should have cut the 4 out of the bottom. I feel like I do need to turn them around. I'm just talking to myself, guys. I'm just deciding which one I want on top, on bottom, where I want it to be. I like the idea that looks like a split flower, because it is. And they'll be overlapping this mint colored one in the middle. Okay, I'll do that. So this cool rusty color can be on the inside instead of on the front side. So that's all right. Okay, so now I know that when I fold them in half, they're going to be 5.5 inches long or wide. And I know my paper's 5.5 inches wide. So I know I'm going to need to cut just a tiny bit off so that I have room to put the hinge on and for this still to be able to close over it, right? So I can either fold it now right in the middle and then cut it together so it cuts on both sides, both ends, or I really like this end with this rusty. I don't want to cut any of that off. So I'm going to choose to score it and fold it and only cut it off of one end. I'm going to score it at, let's see, if that's 5.5, I just want 1 notch shy of 5.5, which is 5 3/8. Does this even go to that? This goes to 5.5. Yep, we'll go to just shy. Okay. And you don't even have to score it, but I'm going to. So there's my score mark. I cannot see. Where's the light? Or there's too much light. Okay, if I fold that in half, make sure I'm lining it up straight because I can't see the score mark. It's too bright. This is too bright in front of me. I'm going to burnish that down. Okay, now see how I have a little extra on the end? That's what I need to trim off. That I could have trimmed first, but I didn't because I wanted to score it to use that whole end. So I'll just trim that end off. And that should make the whole thing 5 3/8 instead of 5 1/2. Did I get it all? There we go. So when I bring my folio back up and I put this on, I can check it, because if I need to trim a little more off, I can. If I put this up here and I want it to be able to close, that's awfully close out there, and it doesn't even have a hinge on it. It's right in there. So I really do need to trim a little bit more off. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take it down to 5 1/4. At 5 1/4, that gives me a little room before the spine, before the fold, to put that in, have the hinge, and it's not quite to the edge. So there's plenty of room. So that's perfect. Okay. So 5 1/4, then I've determined with this piece of paper is the exact width that I need this to be. So I could take this one and I can score it at 5 1/4 and fold it. And you could cut it first. You don't have to score it first, perforated edges there. So for me, this is my way of not having to measure so many things. All I have to do is score this at 5 1/4, and I know it's going to fit. If I fold that and then I just cut off the excess, I know it's going to fit. I don't have to worry about measuring my long strip and getting out a long strip. And there we go. And so that should be 5 1/4 right here. When I line that up to cut that extra off, it is perfectly 5 1/4. There we go. And that should fit and have a little bit of room before the fold and come not quite to the edge. And it does. Okay, so my third piece for my third pocket. I want to score it at 5 1/4. I like this side, so I'm going to keep all of that. So I'll score from this end. 5 1/4. Hi, Tina. Don't buy much Easter candy, but I get the malt robin eggs. I probably shouldn't even look at your talk about Easter candy. It'll make me start wanting.
I know. Every time you guys talk about those Cadbury eggs, I want to run out and buy some. But
I know. There's really only one Easter candy besides those caramel-filled Cadbury ones that now I like, but I didn't even know existed. And I totally forgot, so we didn't get any this year at all. I totally forgot. There's really only one. Margie orders them off of Amazon all the time.
Yeah, well, I don't want to do that.
Me either. I don't want to get in the habit. It's not safe.
Yeah, it's not safe.
There's really only one Easter candy that I really like, and it only comes out at Easter, and it's always sold out, and it's a Hershey's chocolate egg, but there are several Hershey's chocolate eggs, and so it's not just any old Hershey's chocolate egg. I just knocked something onto the floor, and I'm not sure. Oh, it's my pocket. They're kind of like giant M&Ms. It's got the Hershey's chocolate inside and the candy coating, just like an M&M. They're not wrapped in foil. They don't have anything else in them or on them. They come in a light blue bag, and there's several kinds of Hershey's eggs, and that's the only one I like, and I always like it. And Doug always tries to find me a bag, and half the time they're always sold out. So, but now I'll probably get Cadbury on the brain. Okay, I think I need that. So here's my 3 pockets. Is that my front? That's the one I want to use as the front. Yes, it is. That's the one I want to use as the front. Okay. Probably moved that too fast. Gonna get all blurry. I forgot. Was just checking which was the front. Okay, so if I'm looking at my pockets after the fold, I've decided that I'm okay with it not being, I like that yellow, and I want that yellow to be in the front. And then this one's going to be behind. Could be either side. Is that writing? Can't tell which is right side up. This one goes on this side. Okay, so this is how they're going to end up. Except I think maybe I will switch this around and put the small one on the top and the big one on the bottom this time. Last time I did it the other way around. I just like to switch it up. You can get lint all year round. Lint. Don't feel like I miss out if I don't get them at Easter. That's true. Margie. I don't want to know about the fudge eggs. I can't imagine they're better than the caramel, so don't tell me they are. Okay. So that's what my folio is going to be like when I get these in. So now, how do we attach? We're done with this for him. Well, no, we're not. I'm going to need that cutter. How do we attach these pockets? We're going to attach them with a little hinge that's going to be made out of scrap paper. So just grab a piece of scrap paper. And we need a strip of paper that is like 1 inch long. Or, I'm sorry, 1 inch wide, not 1 inch long. 1 inch wide. So I'm going to do this and see if I can cut off 1 inch there. Okay, 1 inch wide. And I need to make a hinge for each of these. Again, you don't even have to measure all of these. In fact, let me just show you even. Okay, I didn't put my hinges the exact length of these pockets or the exact width, height. That would be the height. This would be the width. I didn't put them the exact height. I don't really want the hinge to show. I just want it to do its job and be a hidden hinge. So I made the hinge shorter than the pocket. So you don't see it on the top. You don't see it on the bottom. So if this one is 2.5 inches, this is how long it is. I'm going to put the hinge there. I'm going to leave some space there, some space there. This is how easy this is. I'm going to tear that right there. And then I'm going to pick up this one. And I want the hinge to be, I'm going to leave a little bit of room because I'm going to cut this with scissors to make it even. But I'm just tearing it for size. Okay, and I'm just tearing it a little less than the size that the pocket is. And that leaves this one. Well, what do you know? It works perfectly. That's the perfect size by the time I trim that up. So then all I'm going to do is take a pair of scissors or a cutter, whatever you want, and just cut my tear straight, just for a straight edge. That goes with that. This one has 2 cut edges. Straighten them both up. That goes with the middle one. And the last one. Cut my straight edge. And I like to throw these away right now so I don't end up with them in the middle of everything. Okay, and that's ready to go. So you can fold these in half. You can score them down the middle. They're only 1 inch wide. So where are you going to score? You're going to score at 1/2 inch. Score to 1/2 inch if you want to score them. Might make them just a little bit easier to fold. Doesn't matter whether you do or not. If I score them and I just get a little bit better fold line, they're not going to show at all. So there's one. They're 1 inch wide, score them at 1/2 inch. And you know what? This doesn't even have to be exactly down the middle. If you ended up with 1 1/4 inch wide and you score it at 1/2 inch, that's perfectly fine. They don't have to be exact. Look at that one. That's not centered. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because both sides of that hinge are going to be hidden. As long as there's enough on each side to attach, that's all that matters. And that's why we're just using a piece of scrap paper. There's no reason to, cut a whole new piece of paper. It's hard to hold this right along the edge. And so I didn't have it in tight against the edge. And that's why the two sides aren't even. Doesn't matter. Still works. Works quite well, as a matter of fact. Okay, so I think we're done with this for a bit. I'm going to move that over, and we will bring over our, let's see. I'm going to move this over a bit so I'm not working on the edge of it and get a big lump. Put the paper over there. All right, so I've got the middle one. I've got, where's my hinge? There's the big one with its hinge. There's the small one with its hinge and the middle one with its hinge. All right, I want them all to be on top of the paper I'm working on so I can see them, or at least next to it. Okay, putting them down is really simple. Supplied chocolate in exchange for her craft knowledge. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now you could pay me in chocolate. Oh, that's hilarious. Eat me, you want to. Hi, Debbie. And happy Saturday. Jello, Debbie. Drunk on chocolate now, Debbie. So typos are to be expected. Yeah, Debbie doesn't even eat chocolate, Margie. Margie's eating chocolate with chocolate inside. Didn't know they put booze in it. Laura, they don't. Just Margie does. You never add any extra fixins. Nope, not at all. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. We're going to attach the large one and the small one first. We're going to attach the large one and the small one first. It doesn't matter which one you put on top or bottom. You choose, but you need to choose that now. Whichever one's on top or bottom, doesn't matter. Just choose it now because we're going to glue it down. You're going to need some glue. Okay. Now, watch carefully, but this is really simple. It's really not complicated. Don't make it any more complicated than it is. Let me show you before I glue it what it's going to do. This hinge is going to go on the back of the pocket like this. It's going to glue on the inside of the pocket so that you don't see it when that pocket's glued together. And the back is going to be glued down. Geez, it's harder to do when it's not glued. So that it lifts up. Yeah, sure it does. Lifts up like that. And then our paper is going to cover this. Okay, so the only thing we want glued down is one of the insides of this folded hinge, one of them to the inside of the back of that pocket. Okay, got it? That's all we want to glue down. So I'm setting it there. I'm trying that. I know that that's exactly what needs to be glued. So I'm going to leave my finger on it. That tells me not to glue this side. That's how I remember. I just put my thumb and my finger where I don't want to glue. And why do I have glue popping out of this? I don't usually have glue popping out of art glitter glue. That's weird. A dry wipe there. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on the side that my finger is not on. Okay, and then I'm going to the back of the pocket. I'm just going to kind of sort of center that. Again, it's not as long. Remember, it's not as long as my pocket is. I'm going to fold it over, even though there's no glue on the back, because that'll help me get it on correctly. I just it doesn't matter if it's exactly centered. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't up against one edge or the other. That's why I made it short, so that I wouldn't see it from either edge. So I only glued that top flap on. This flap is now free back here. Okay, that's the one that's going to go down on the paper. But I don't want to put that down yet. First, I want to glue this pocket together. So now I'm going to put glue only on the side and the bottom to bring that pocket together. So I'm going to bring my thumb over to this side. Reminds me not to put glue on that side. I'm just going to put a little, doesn't take much, really, it doesn't take much. Little stream of glue down that side and across the bottom. I'm going to move that so I can set this down. Make sure that I'm straight. And I'll use my wipe to rub it down. So if anything squishes out, I can wipe it right off. Check both sides. They seem to be good. Okay, so across the bottom and down the side. And I still have my flap there. See, I still have my flap. And there's my pocket open on top. Now, before I glue that down, I would like to do a thumb notch. It's easier for me before I glue it down. You don't have to do it before you glue it down. You can do it after you glue it down. I'm going to do all of them before I glue any of them down. That way I can line them up together and get my thumb notches in line with each other. I do like that. So I'm going to go to, this is the first one. So this can be the one that tells where all the others are going to be. Just decide how big you want it. This is a 2.5 inch circle, I think. So I don't need to be very deep because it's pretty wide. And that's all I want is just a little notch. Okay. And I'm going to set this one aside. And I'm going to get the small one. This is the 2.5 inch. And I'm going to do the same thing with this hinge. I'm going to glue this hinge on the inside of that back part of the pocket. Same as we did the first one. Okay, doesn't have to be centered. In fact, that's kind of wide. Did I get the right one? Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's all right. It doesn't come to the ends, but I thought I cut it a little shorter than that, but it's okay. It'll be fine. And you can cut it all the way to the end if you want. I just like it not to come to the end so I don't see the hinge, so it appears that it's just turning magically. Okay, my hinge is still free there. And now I'm going to glue the side and the bottom together. Very thin strip of glue there. Doesn't take much. I'm going to lay it down to make sure I get it on straight. I'll flip it over. This is easier with a wet baby wipe, but mine is dry. Wasn't used, but it was dry. Okay. There's Miss Debbie.
Sorry.
Hello, Miss Debbie.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi, Candy.
Are you done gallivanting around?
Gallivanting. I had company all day, so.
Oh, nice.
You didn't kick them out for us? Them over us? We're hurt.
Well, you know what? She was very kind about it. She says, it's 5 o'clock. And I said, well, I think they'll forgive me this time.
Oh,
Yes.
As long as I don't make it a habit.
I'm just kidding. Well, Okay, I'm setting my large pocket on top of my small pocket. Just kind of as a template, because I would like to have those pockets, since these two are flipping the same way, I would like to have them lined up. My fingers are in the way of the punch, so let's see here. It's about right there. And now they're lined up perfectly. Debbie, you recognize this? This is one we were looking at the other day.
It was?
Yeah, this is that one from My Porch Prince.
Oh.
It's inspired by, it's not exact. I don't want to degrade what she did because mine, may not be as good as hers, but inspired by My Porch Prince.
Nice.
That one that I took 10 minutes and figured out all the measurements in my head.
Yes.
That one. We're looking at this video and I'm like, okay, I gotta freeze it. I gotta pause it. Look at that picture. Okay, if that paper's 8.5 by 11, then that one has to be 4 inches. That one is, and that's how I figured it out. So Debbie's like, but it's fun. Look at this, Debbie. Look at this one that I did with Dress My Craft.
Oh
And
my gosh, that's
gave it a little spine with a double score.
Oh wow, that's pretty.
The flippy pocket there.
Oh,
And the flippy pocket here. So I'm going to do some other things on this one and then use this one as a folio on its own because it's nice and heavy paper. And then this one.
I'll need to go back and watch to do that.
Okay.
That'll work in my the lavender book, I think.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I think that's so pretty. Yes. So, yeah, as soon as we finish this one, I've been going slowly. I'm going to do another one too. So this one I'm just doing with scrapbook paper because this one I'm going to go ahead and glue down on a page. And so I don't need it to be as heavy a paper as that. So it's coffee dyed scrapbook paper. Okay, so I've got these two ready to glue, but I'm not going to glue them until I at least attach the hinge to the third one because I want to line it up to be able to cut my thumb notch the same as those. Okay, so these two flip out this way, right? Here's where you just need to make sure you're gluing it the right direction. And this one is on this side and flips out this way, which means that the back of my pocket is the opposite side. It's this side. And so I want to glue this hinge there. So it's on the back side to flip out that way. Where before we turned it over this way. I guess it wouldn't matter unless your paper's directional. If your paper's directional, it will matter. If your paper's not directional, it won't matter. You can still glue it on the same side, then just flip it over. And maybe that's the advantage of using non-directional paper for this. That probably would be smart, huh? But, actually mine is non-directional, but sometimes magically delicious pockets. Sandy Rath says hi, Debbie.
Hello, hello. I don't have YouTube up.
Okay. That's all right.
I came back downstairs real quick and logged in on the
StreamYard. Oh, on the iPad?
Yeah, on the iPad.
Okay.
Did you tell Candy that, the camera and the stand, whatever, won't hook up with the iPad?
Did not. What? It won't? Well, it turns out that the iPad is not compatible with webcams because it would take, more things that they don't build into the iPads, and it has 2-directional camera itself. And it's so small, it's the size of a large phone. So you could actually put it in a clampy stand itself and have the camera go either direction. So that's kind of why. But so a stand where she could clamp that in, then she could use it because the iPad Air is really small, which is kind of nice. She could use that as you could do that, have it facing down, and you could stand up to look down in it to see exactly what you're seeing. But you could also have YouTube up on your phone or something to the side.
I found another stand What did I just do with my phone? I brought it. That's how I logged in. Oh, here it is.
Oh.
Okay. I found another stand. It's $129 though. So after my bill came today, the $129. I had no clue. I thought it was going to be about half that.
Oh wow! Well, and that was 2 invoices too, and one of them was ordered so long ago. The pre-order.
Right.
That yeah.
Okay, so let me go
Okay.
to
Oops, I just
YouTube.
pulled a little bit of that off. We should be able to find you a stand that will do that for less than that.
Well, the one that I'm looking at that's 129. I love the one that I got the other day.
Yeah, but for a different purpose.
Right, but I'll take that one upstairs and use that for the Microsoft Pro. But
Right.
this other one, I could use. You can hook it up to the iPad.
Okay.
I was told.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I need to cut the thumb notch in this one. Okay, so I'm going to line this one. I know this one's going to flip that way. This one's going to flip that way. So I'm going to line them up together here. They're the same width anyway.
Sandy wants to know if you can show a close-up of how the tab goes on the middle pocket, please.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And there's my tab on the middle one. Okay. All right, let me pull up all 3 pockets. Okay, so the bottom pocket I'm doing is the large one. The tab is over here. This was one piece of, it was 4 inches by 11. I just cut it off of my 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And then I scored it, folded it in half, and then I trimmed it down to where this is 5 3/8. And you don't even need to worry about 5 3/8. If you don't like measurements, just put it up here and say, I need to allow enough room over here that I can still fold this and it will fit within the fold. Okay. So I have an offcut, don't I? Yeah, this will work. Okay. So this was my pocket before I glued it down. I put that tab right here on the back side, folded it back because it's going to flip out that way. So that one goes that way, like that. The top one is exactly the same, and I think you've already got that one. So that one's exactly the same. If your paper is not directional, you can do the exact same thing with your center one. You can glue it exactly the same. And then you'll just turn it around and fold the tab back the other way because it's going to go flip out the right side. But if your paper is directional, mine was kind of because there's some vague writing in the background. So here's my pocket. Here's my pocket. So I folded it in half. So my opening is in over here. My fold is on the right. Okay, I took my tab. I've got to have a scrap piece of paper. Say this is my tab. Nice and big so you can see. Okay, my tab is going to go right here. So this one can fold out this way. Whoops. So this one can fold out this way. So this one, I'm gluing the tab. And you know what? It doesn't matter whether you glue it on this way or this way. It really doesn't matter because I glued it this way. And then after I glued the pocket closed, I just folded the tab the opposite direction because I know I want it to go that way. So the only thing that matters is if you have directional paper, making sure that the direction is right, whether it's this way or if you need to flip the paper over so that it's right side up. Does that make sense? And then when you cut your thumb notch, that's going to be your top. But until you cut that thumb notch, you can flip either side to be your up or your down if your paper is directional. And so once you do, then just go in here and no matter which way you fold it back just so that you can glue it onto this piece. Leave that back part free floating. And then when you put it down, you're actually just going to bend it the other direction. Then glue your side and your bottom. Let me go back to this one that's already glued. Once you glued the side and the bottom, cut your thumb notch, and now it's ready to go right there. Did that make sense? Hi, Lucy. Lucy, you can make perfectly fine videos on your camera if you've got, especially if you've got an iPhone or iPad. No, you said iPhone. Yeah, you did say iPhone. Yeah, iPhone makes incredibly good videos. And all you need is, maybe if I can get it, I'm not sure where I put it. Okay, here, let me tell you how I started out with my iPhone. You really don't need a ton of stuff. I had a selfie stick because, at the end of the selfie stick, that thing expands so you can stick your phone in it and then it clamps back on your phone and holds it in place. I had a selfie stick and I put it on a shelf that was over my desk and I stacked some books on top of it to hold it in place. And so the selfie stick came out from the shelf, and my phone was then right there looking down at the desk that I was working on. That's seriously. And I did that for over a year.
Candy, are we keeping you up?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's glue these down. And you know what, Lucy, I'll go in and find a good inexpensive stand that will do that, because there's no need for, a lot of you guys should be doing videos of some of your work, your art pieces, and putting them on your channels. Or if you don't want to, I'd love to create a playlist for Happy Paper People for your creations to have on the Happy Paper People channel. I would love that. So others in the group can look at your flip throughs of your creations right here. That would be awesome. I'd love to see those. Let's go back and glue these down. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. The center one is going to be the last one we glue down. So set that one aside. Okay. The top one and the bottom one, doesn't matter which is which. You want to make sure that there's enough room for your folio to close, and maybe leave a tiny bit over here just so it doesn't hang over the edge. Okay. Now, let's take the real technical way to do this. I've got that right where this will close. I've got a little bit of space in there, maybe even too much. I'll go back a little bit there. There's plenty of room for it to open and close. Okay. There's a little bit of room there, but I know I'm putting a piece of paper down. I'm going to grab me a sharp little pencil. I'm going to make a tiny mark on top, and I'm going to make a tiny mark on bottom, right at the end. And that's where I'm going to glue it down, right in between. I know you can't see my two tiny marks. Those tiny marks are going to be covered, so it really doesn't even matter to me. If not, I'll erase them later. Okay, so now I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to put it on the underside of that flap, the side that's gluing down to the base.
Why are you gluing it and not taping it?
You could tape it too.
Just
Doesn't make it, nope, doesn't make any
personal
difference.
preference. Okay.
Just habit. Just
Okay.
habit. When I did this one, I glued the pockets, but then I actually taped this because I didn't want to see any ripples, any possibility of ripples.
Okay.
And so I taped this piece down, and I taped this piece down with score tape. But the pockets, I just glued them just out of habit.
Okay.
No other reason. So yeah, whatever you like to use to adhere, glue, score tape, some other kind of double-sided tape. Okay, so now I'm going to set this down, make sure that I'm still have room to close. I'm looking at my marks. I'm putting it inside my 2 marks. And I know I put the marks right at the edge. And I can go over here and see that it's straight. Okay, so I'm going to rub that in and get that nice down. There's my flap, my Flippy pocket. Flippy pocket. Okay, now this one is going to be exactly the same, but down here. And this is how you can get all 3 of these pockets perfectly measured without measuring. When I did this one, I just did it. I eyeballed it about 1/4 of an inch from the top. However, whatever distance looks good to you, that 1/4 inch looks good to me. But that can be whatever distance you like. When I come to this one, I'm going to eyeball it. And if it eyeballed on one, it's going to eyeball the same on the other for you. And I'm eyeballing it about the same distance. And if I go over here, this is about the same distance from the edge. And let's make sure it's straight. And I'm going to close my folio. Yep, it still closes. Still good. So as long as this pocket is straight, then I'm going to take my pencil, make my little marks, because then I know top to bottom, I'm going to put it within there, and I can tell over here if it's straight, and I'm going to adhere this pocket down. And you could just put a strip of score tape there, would work actually perfectly fine. Yeah, it's really happy just to grab for the glue. But then when I went to put that big one on, I thought, oh, I want to tape this one down because I don't want to see any ripples. Okay, so I'm between my 2 marks. I'm checking to see if it's straight over here. And that's, easy enough to eyeball, because even if it's not perfectly straight, it doesn't matter because there's going to be other things on the page. Okay, once you've got your top and your bottom pocket. Oh, I forgot to glue the bottom of this down. Did I glue the wrong? Oh, nope, I didn't glue the wrong side. I punched the wrong side. That's hilarious. I glued the top and the bottom down, and then I thumb notched the wrong side.
And this is why you use tape and not
right. Undo works on glue, but there's such a tiny bit of glue here, it'll just come off like that. So not a big deal. Oh, I use undo all the time, Debbie. I do this stuff all the time. But then I haven't used glue on an album, so I don't know. That might be a whole lot more glue.
Yeah, I don't use.
That might not work the same, but yeah, it works on glue. Okay, so I'm going to go back and close this up first before putting the center on. Just so it's closed.
That's funny.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Funny. Well, I have to show you what not to do, or what to do when you mess up. I do perfectly at that. I got to do something well, even if it's what not to do. All right, let me check this one. Okay, this one's all right. All right, so I'm going to flip both of those pockets open. And now I'm going to put the center pocket on, again, getting it perfectly lined up without ever having to measure anything. And here's how you do it. I want this pocket to be equally overlapped by the top and the bottom. So all I have to do is bring it over here, and let's see. I'm going to want it about the same distance from the edge as these 2 pockets are, so they line up right down there. Okay. And then top to bottom, I want each of these pockets, the top pocket and the bottom pocket, to overlap my center pocket the same amount. So I'm looking at that, and that's quite a bit more. So I need to move it up a bit. And eyeballing this is totally fine because once you open it, you can't even tell where it overlaps. So eyeballing this is totally fine. So that's about that much, and that's about that much. They're right about the same. So let me make sure I'm still straight on the other side. I want to make sure that I don't go over the pocket right here. Otherwise, this pocket won't be able to flap on top of it. Okay, make sure you have room for them to flip on top. Let's check the bottom one. Yep, it's got room too. Let's make sure I'm straight here. And then the easiest way to do this is just leave it right where it is because I know it's in the exact right spot. And just lift up the end. This is the flap. I'm just going to put some glue on that flap. Or you could have already put a piece of double-sided tape on that flap. Then when you lift it up, all you have to do is pull the one side off. And now when I put it back down, it's in the exact same spot. How easy is that? So when I flap that out, I can just make sure that that is nicely adhered. And then there's the center, there's the top, and there's the bottom. Isn't that easy? And so cool. Okay, so now we need the piece of paper that we're going to use to go in the center here, which covers our hinges and makes them hidden hinges. I'm going to leave this, I think, uncovered so it can be journal space because I like this coffee dyeing over here. And so I'm going to make this to go inside here. All right, so I know that this folded in half is 5.5 inches, right? I also know you can measure this, but I know a lot of you don't like to measure, so this is how easy. What? Oh, good one. Wait, Sandy, not easy, but cool. Hi, Sandy. Other Sandy. Sandy Rath. Did you not think? Didn't I can't even speak. He runs around like a banshee. Oh my goodness. Agree, Cindy. It's really easy, but I always mess up the easy stuff. Yeah, it's like, glue the right side. Yeah, that's me. Mess up the right side, the glue, the easy part. Okay, so you can measure your inside here, or you can say, I know that this is 8.5 by 11, so half of it is 5.5. So if I cut an 8.5 by 11 in half, it's close. But I know I've got a tiny bit right here so that it will close on these. And I know I've got a tiny bit over here, right? So if I cut that to 5.5, cut it in half, I know I'm still going to need to shave off a tiny bit. So I'm doing this today for those of you that do not like to measure. If you like to measure, then you know exactly how to measure from the inside of this fold to the inside of this fold. You know, it's 8.5 top to bottom. You can decide whether you want a border. You might make the border the same as this over here. And maybe I'll do that after I get it cut. But the inside of this hinge to the inside of this hinge, make sure you have enough space in there. Set it down before you glue it. Make sure that you can flip these over and it doesn't obstruct them. If not, then shave off just a tiny bit. But I'm going to start first by getting these perforations off the end. Teeny tiny bit of perforations. Okay. And then I'm going to say, well, if half of that is 5.5, and I know I probably have close to 1/8 of an inch on each side, that would be about 5 1/4, right? So I'm going to go slightly larger than 5 1/4 because I can shave a little bit off if I need to, but I can't add it back on. So there's my slightly larger than 5 1/4. Let's see if it fits. I'm only worried about left to right because I know that the top to bottom is the same width as this. And I think I'll trim it up and make just the same amount of border as on there. Okay, that obstructs a little bit. I can't close that very well. So I'm going to trim just a little off. So 5 1/4 was probably exactly right, but I didn't want to end up too shy. So I'd rather keep trimming just a hair off than be a hair short. Be a hair short. Let's see if that was enough. Just trimmed ever so slight amount off.
Oops.
Okay. All righty. Okay. All right. Maybe just a hair more. This feels like it's just... Oh, maybe it's the center pocket. No, it's the... Okay, just a hair more so that pocket can close nicely. Let's see where we're at. Just a teeny tiny hair more. I think I'll take it off of that side. So I'm ending up just a hair less than 5 1/4. Not enough to be 5 1/8. Just a teeny tiny bit. But you don't have to get hung up on measuring. If you don't like to measure, you don't have to measure. It's easy to do things without. If you like to measure, then measure. You know, if that's easier for you. What are you laughing at?
You.
Debbie's the measurer.
Debbie's the measurer.
Yes,
And
I'm
that's
the big measurer.
totally okay. But
I
there's a
just
lot of
thought-
people that don't like to. They get hung up on the 8ths and the 16ths and whatever. Debbie's been doing it and she's good at it. So keep
I
doing
just
it.
bought a special ruler that has 16ths on it.
Nice.
Actually, it's from Shelley Geigel's shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ruler
That's
has
cool.
16ths on it. Yeah.
I usually use one of my glass mats always has 16ths.
Well, it's written.
Oh,
Does that
that's
make
cool.
sense? As
Yes.
opposed to just the
The mark.
little marks there. It's
Just the
written
mark. Okay.
that it's a 16th of an inch.
Okay, so I want to put this down. I'm going to put this down, but I want to make a little bit of border on top and a little bit of border on the bottom just so it equals the two sides. So I need to cut off just, again, I'm just going to eyeball that. Turn it over because I can't see that dark. Here we go. I'm going to eyeball it. And if it's not quite enough, I'll take another hair off. Yep, not quite enough. Okay, do it again. Just keep doing it till it's exactly how you want it. Or I could have just measured it once. I'm trying to do this whole thing without hardly any measurements for those of you who don't like to measure. Okay, so a little bit of border on top. And I have a little bit of border on the bottom. I think that's okay. So I'm going to use that. Okay. So because I don't want any rippling and I'm using awfully thin, this is thin scrapbook paper because I know I'm going to glue it down. I will use score tape on this panel. So I'm just going to put it all the way around the 4 sides.
Jubrie's had a problem with their Patreon. It wouldn't take her bank. It says she signed up, but it didn't take money out of her bank account. So you might want to check that.
Okay, as soon as I finish this, I'll go check it.
Let her know whether
Whether you're really in. I tried to get in and it wouldn't take my money. I will go check it out as soon as get this panel down. We did put a couple links for double-sided tape. Well, they will be when Candy gets this updated.
Patreon usually takes out the first of the month.
Okay. So when you first signed up, did it take it out immediately for that first month, or did it wait?
Okay, maybe I lied. Maybe it took it out immediately. But since
I don't know.
well,
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I don't know. Judy, you're in Australia, right?
I don't think so. I thought
Where's
Judy's US.
Judy?
Are you?
Oh.
Are you in Australia? I thought Diane's in
I don't
Australia.
know.
I have a clue.
Who is Julie and who else?
Diane.
Oh,
Diane
okay.
is
Okay.
Now I've forgotten her YouTube name.
Sorry, Judy.
Michigan.
No,
There
she says
you go,
no.
yeah.
No.
She's in Michigan. She's
Michigan.
like, what?
I was gonna say, I think when you
maybe-
first sign up, it takes it immediately.
Yeah, I think so too. But
I think it
We'll go
did
check.
mine too, but I also noticed that it comes out on the first of the month when it comes out.
Yeah.
So maybe that's
Yeah.
It's just that first sign up,
Maybe
and then
because it's so close to the end of the month. Maybe it's so close to the beginning of the month. Maybe.
it's waiting to do
Yeah.
it tomorrow. Yeah,
Maybe.
you get a free day.
maybe
Go watch everything now.
yeah, maybe they can't prorate one day or half a day. Or
Yeah. Who knows?
know,
And depending
maybe.
on what state they're in, it's getting awfully close to midnight. If anybody who is a Patreon member, if you haven't seen the post I put in yesterday or the day before yesterday, be sure to go in and check that out for a freebie if you would like.
Oh, you put your papers in there?
No.
Oh, I want those so bad.
Oh God, Candy! Now I'm yawning. Holy cow! What's
I know. I had trouble sleeping. Well, I always have trouble sleeping, but
Worse.
and I'm
Yeah,
I'm so tired that I go to bed early and then
Then you wake up.
I wake up and then I can't go back to sleep.
That's
and then
me. If I go to bed too early, I'm going to wake up at midnight and I'm going to be awake till 4 a.m.
I just feel drained, ladies. That's all. I feel fine. It's just I'm just really super tired.
okay?
Okay, now I'm questioning myself, so I'm going to lay it on upside down before I sticky this paper. Just
Margie
to see.
that's what's wrong with Margie. She was born and raised in Michigan.
Yeah, that could be a problem, Margie.
Sorry, Margie. My in-laws
Could be a
lived in Kalamazoo. They lived in Kalamazoo
Oh.
for many years while he was working with
Wow.
Fiverr up there. He did all the roofing for their company up there.
Oh, wow.
Rodney's dad's a roofer.
Okay.
He was a
That's
troubleshooter.
a good business to be in.
Yeah, he made good money. They traveled. They paid all of his expenses were paid, or his rent, all that stuff. Yeah, he had a business. He owned his own business in Moweaqua, Illinois, where they were from. And then they offered him that job, and they traveled a lot. They were in Arizona for a while, Michigan for a long time, because Pfizer's got a real big
Mm-hmm.
complex up there. They got a lot of buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was making good money up there.
Debbie, the only thing that drives me crazy about the tape is that if I put it down with glue, I at least have a couple of seconds to adjust it.
Yes. Yes.
And with tape, I don't. If I don't get it right the first time, then I have to, use undo and bring it up.
Put some
I
glue
don't
on the tape.
doing
Put
that.
some glue on the tape. And
That's I always forget that. Glue on the tape, and that's a big purpose of it, is that it gives you the few
little
seconds to adjust.
yeah, just a little strip of glue. It helps
Yeah.
you.
I always forget. Pontiac, Michigan. Wow. Isn't there a state park in Pontiac? I used to go there and help out with the concession stand as a kid. Wow, that's kind of cool. Okay, so here is our folio. And this will get glued down on a page. So it's not going to really be a folio. It's more of a, like a page on a page, a hidden page with flippy pockets. And so now you can go ahead and decorate the pockets. You can make some tags to go in them. The tags that are in these would go nicely in these as well.
Dog's getting in trouble.
This is your dog, not mine.
That's my dogs. They've been Well, they've been Bella and Sandy been getting into it today for whatever reason.
Oh no.
Whatever bug is up Bella's butt.
Yeah, having one of those days.
Yeah, so we have to watch them when we feed them.
Yeah.
I think she's afraid we're not going to feed her. I don't know, but
She eats everybody else's food, or it's very
No.
territorial.
no, we have to we do separate them. They're in different parts of the, one's on one end of the kitchen, one's on the other end, one's in the living room, other end of the living room, that kind of thing. But when she finishes hers, and let's say Sandy finishes hers first,
Yeah.
and they're both done. The bowls are empty. She walks into the living room and walks by Bella's bowl, even though it's empty.
Oh, Bella attacks. It's my bowl. Don't touch it. Don't get near it.
Don't even get near it. She's just walking past it to get to Rodney. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's really.
That's funny. Territorial.
I don't know. It's weird. It's just really. And then other times she just ignores her. I don't know what today is. It's.
You could make
like
this a
earlier
journal card,
they had eaten Rodney. Well, they had already eaten. He had given them a treat,
right?
and they were sitting there. And I was standing there. Bella was on one side of me. Sandy was on the other side. And Sandy hiccuped or something. She did that where something got stuck in her throat. And she did like a sneeze hiccupy thing.
Oops, she
Bella
hiccuped.
was on her.
Wow.
Come across
Wow.
me. I almost knocked me over. I had to knock her off. And
Excuse me.
oh my God. I don't know what to do with today.
Oh, wow. You could make these journal cards instead of tags. If you don't want this to stick up so it sticks out of the book, you could make them journal cards so that they fit down in. That's why you've got the thumb notch. Easy to pull them out. Totally up to you.
These are cute.
Yeah, they are. I probably won't completely decorate it until I decide which book it's going to go into, but it's there ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and Debbie, are you going to make one?
I might.
Are you on something else? I was going to say, because if you were waiting because you missed the beginning, I'm going to do another one from the beginning.
Oh yeah, I'll do one then.
Yeah. Do one with me? Okay. Cool. I'll even measure it. Do you want to do it by measuring?
Please.
Debbie's a measurer.
There's probably somebody else that likes to measure too, so let's do one measuring.
Okay, what's
As you ladies can probably tell, I am not a measurer. I didn't measure anything.
So we're going to start with 8.5 by 11 piece of paper on the bottom.
8.5 by 11? Oh, then I need to cut this down.
I think I'm going to use this one. 8.5 by 11, and I am going to score it down the middle so that it will fold nicely. So I will get my big scoreboard out so it goes all the way down. 8.5 by 11. That score mark should be at 5.5. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Okay. How come if I did that at 5.5? Oh, because I didn't. I did it at 5 5/8. What a dork. I can't see. I can't see either. Apparently I'm blind.
Yourself, Marianne.
What? Huh? All the bright lights. I can't see. I have to take my glasses off to see up close too.
That song, Bright Lights.
You really?
Okay.
Now I got 2 score marks there. All right. So I'm folding it in half on the 5.5-inch score mark.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. And then choose whatever paper you want to be your 3 pockets and your inside on the right side.
Okay.
Oh, you're already ahead of me. You know what? I'm going to let that be. Because I scored it ski-wampus, now it's not wanting to roll all the way over. It's kind of thick, so I'm just going to leave it, and I'll end up trimming that off, and I'm totally okay with that. All right. So, let's see. Ooh, glad we're covering up the inside, because that's kind of bright. What do I want to go on the inside? Ooh, maybe I use the bag. Oh, that cough still sounds bad, Candy.
Oh, it just comes and goes. I think being out in the woods yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to need, for the 3 pockets, you're going to need one that is 4 inches by 11 inches, one that's 3 inches by 11 inches, and one that's 2 1/4 inches by 11 inches.
4 inches by 11 inches.
If you're using an 8.5 by 11, you're going to do a 4-inch strip, and they don't have to be the same paper either. In fact, I don't think I'll use all the same paper, but yeah, 3 strips, one that's 4 inches, one that's 3 inches, one that's 2 1/4, all 11 long if you're using an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper.
Okay.
Ooh, maybe I'll do a gold one in there. That would be kind of pretty. I'm going to have to cover that inside. I like it, but not for this thing. How about that'd be kind of pretty. And I'm gonna need one more. All right, I am totally changing my mind. On the spot, changing my mind. I'm gonna use.
So where does the 4-inch go? Where does the 3.5 inch go? Or 3 inch, and where does the 2.5 go?
The 3 inch always goes in the middle,
Okay.
and then you could choose whether you want the large one on the top or the large one on the bottom. On this one, I did it on the bottom, and on this one, I did it on the top. So you can totally choose on those two. Now, the 11 is going to be slightly too long because that is the full length of this, and you need a little bit of an edge. So score it, fold it in half, and then you're going to want to cut it. Once it's scored and folded in half, cut it to 5 1/4.
Okay, 4, 3, and 2.5, right?
Correct. Okay, so let's see. Changing my mind. Totally changing my mind. Have 3. Okay. There. 11. That's going to be 5 1/2. All right, so I just cut down a 12 by 12 to 8.5 by 11. It was already folded and scored, so I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to
Then fold them in half.
fold them in half, and then once they're folded in half, cut it down to 5 1/4, not on the folded end, on the open end.
Yeah, don't do Mary Ann.
Just to be clear, don't do it on the. And you can score it before you fold it if you want. Makes it easier fold. Is that 2 1/4? Not quite. All right. So which do I want to be the top, middle, and bottom? I think I'm going to use this one and this one. And this one's not quite 2 1/2. Not quite long enough. Do I have another piece of that? I do. Or similar. Similar. Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Alrighty. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. let that be the bottom, that be the middle, and that be the top. Okay, so I need a 3-inch.
Put them down to what? 5 and what?
5 1/4. Okay, there's one. And there's the 4. And then if your paper's directional, just make sure that it's turned so your fold is on the correct side. If it's non-directional, that's easier. And this is 2 1/2. Okay, so there's my 3 pieces. 2 1/2, 3, and 4. All right, so I'm going to score and fold.
2 1/2. Doggone it. Now I'm lost. What's this one? 3.
1 piece is 2 1/2.
Okay, 2 1/2. Okay.
One. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. It's 2 1/4.
2 1/4.
2 1/4.
That's what you get for measuring, ladies. Just
See? Hang on a minute. I think it's 2 1/4. Well, doggone it. I did that one 2 1/2. So it's 2 1/2.
2 1/2.
It's 2 1/2. Okay, here's the thing. If you cut it at 2 1/4, it won't matter. It can be either. This one is 2 1/4. And this one is 2 1/2. It doesn't make any difference. They both work.
Okay.
Technically, I told you 2 1/4 first, right? Technically, the original is. Did I tell you 2 1/2?
Shit.
Okay.
Still not right.
Yeah, they both work.
Got it.
That's what I get for trying to measure, right?
Yep.
I did write some of those things down just for those who wanted to measure, but it somehow slid off my desk somewhere and I'm not sure where it is. It always happens. I'll see it as soon as we get off air.
None of my pages are right.
Okay, I cut that one to 2 1/4. 2 1/4, 3, and 4. That's what I've got. None of your pages are right.
Yeah, none of them.
None of your pockets?
5 1/4. Okay. Nope, the pages are off. I don't know what I did wrong here.
Okay, so then
5 1/4.
let's see.
Okay, there's some Rambo's.
You're probably got it just fine, huh? Let me score.
But they are all 5 1/4.
Okay, score that the pocket at 5 1/4.
Cut at 5 1/4, not score.
I'm sorry. No, yeah, score it, fold it in half, and then cut it 5 1/4.
Okay.
So they're 5 1/4 long. Yep. So I just scored and folded. I need to cut this one to 5 1/4. I need to burnish that a little bit better. Okay, so there's my 4-inch pocket. And now my 3-inch. I'll fold that. I'm just going to fold it in half. I'm not even going to score it. Okay. Fold that in half. cut that one at 5 1/4. And then my 2 1/4 or 2 1/2, doesn't matter. Last one, I'm going to fold that one. Which end do I like better? I like that end. Let's see. Okay. Burnish that one down and cut that one at 5 1/4. Okay. So there's my 3 pockets. Now you could punch your thumb notches now, or you can wait until you get the hinges on. So just in case you put the hinge on the wrong side or go in the wrong direction, you won't have to undo it because you can punch the hole on either side, right? So I'm going to put that one on the bottom. I'm going to put that one in the middle, and I'm going to put that one on the top. What does the inside of that one look like? Upside down. Okay. It doesn't even matter. All right, so here is my... Okay, so the next thing we need is a piece of scrap paper. Just any scrap paper, and that is to make our hinges. And so we're going to need a strip that is 1 inch wide. This is just a little bit of scrap, so I'm going to need a couple strips that are 1 inch wide. So if this pocket is 4 inches tall, you can choose whether you want your hinge to go the entire width or height. So you'd cut a 4-inch hinge. I like mine to not be quite as tall so that you don't see the hinge at the top or bottom. And so I'm going to make it about 3 1/2 and go 1/4 inch up and down. So I'm just going to make that 3 1/2 inches. So this strip is 1 inch by 3 1/2. Then the second one would be 1 inch by 2 1/2. Right? I just knocked a 1/2 inch off of the height of each of my pockets. So that one will go with that one. This one is 3 inches tall, so I need one that's 2 1/2 inches. And then this one is 2 1/4. So I can't measure that one. I'm just going to cut it. It's too small to even worry about. There we go. Okay. Then each of these little 1 inch pieces, you can score it or fold it, whichever way is easier. I'm going to give them a quick little score at 1/2 inch. Just makes it easier to fold for me. 1/2 inch. Half an inch. Okay. Are you already gluing them on, Debbie, or where are you at?
I'm scoring them,
Okay.
scoring my tabs, and you're gluing half of it inside, right?
Yep, exactly. I'm gonna take my tab.
That edge, right?
So I'm gonna decide here which my smallest one and my largest one are going to flip open to the left. So I just need to decide, what do I want to show first and what do I want to flip open I think I'll have that show right there. That's not straight. I need to straighten that out a little bit. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to do it like that. There we go. Okay. So
And then are you closing the bottom of these also? at the
yeah,
same-
first I'm gluing the hinge on only to the back piece
Mhm.
there. So it like folds around it, but only glue the front because the back needs to be free. So I'm only going to glue the front of that. And you could totally use score tape on these. Score tape never gets clogged up if you don't put the needle back in, the pin back in it. Oh my goodness. Can't even get that pin. Got a big old clog right there on the end. Hopefully that got it out. There we go. Okay. So I'm putting it on the back. Just centering it. And then once that hinges on the back with the back free floating, then I will close, yep, the side and the bottom is all.
Oh, Glennis is in the car. She has audio now.
She must have been at the grandkids' house.
Yeah.
We weren't at hers. Yeah, Glennis, you'll have to go back and make this. I think you'll like it. Okay, so there's my smallest pocket ready to go. Largest one. Going to do the same thing. Attaching it only to the back. Glennis, you missed all the chocolate comas, the drunken chocolate lady, which you know is Margie, of course. Okay. And then I will glue that side and bottom closed. Okay. Yellow again. Sorry, squirrel. Oh, man. Okay. Now, those two are going to glue down like that and hinge this direction. And then the center one, decide which way you want that one to go, because that's going to hinge the opposite direction. So I'm going to glue that. Let's see. Where am I gluing that? You can glue it to the back or the front. Doesn't make any difference. If you still glue it to the back, then you're just remembering that you're always gluing it to the back. Once it's glued and you put this down, you just hold it the opposite direction. Or you can glue it to the front. Doesn't make any difference. So, okay. Put that in the center. Oops, not very centered. I have a feeling I just got glue on the back side of that, on the front side of that. It wasn't supposed to be. Oh my goodness. Apparently my fold mark wasn't very good there. Make sure there's no glue. All right. So that one will go that direction. So I want to glue side and bottom. Okay. Okay, so then that one flips out that way. So then when I go to position them, I'm going to, well, you were here for this part, Debbie. Pick how far down you want that one. Pick how far up you want the bottom one. Put those two on first. And then you just center the third. So if you want to go 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch down, just make sure you have enough room to close, close your page. Okay. And you can mark it like I did, or like I did with the center one, you could just hold it with your fingers. You can even turn it around so it's easier angle. Put some glue, or already have score tape on it. So when you pick it up, all you have to do is pull the strip off, set it back down. And I forgot to do my thumb notch, so that's okay. I'll be cutting those after. Nothing that can't be fixed. I just like to do my thumb notch first so they're all perfectly lined up. Okay, that closes. Just fine. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right, once those two are on, flip them over. And you're going to choose where to put the center one based on centering it between these two. So we'll overlap the same amount. And you know what? Even if they didn't overlap the same amount, it wouldn't really matter as long as you can, so when you close both of these, you see the center one. As long as there's no gap in there. It's kind of all that we're thinking about. Okay. All right. Margie, don't you share the chocolate? What? Glennis, why are you telling her not to share the chocolate? That's just wrong. Okay, so there it is. So now I just need the piece that is going to go underneath here. And let's decide what that is going to be.
So you put the bottom one down first?
Either the top or the bottom.
Okay.
Because you just want to make sure that the top is the same distance from the bottom or from the top as the bottom one is from the bottom. Just giving you the same border. That's all on the top and the bottom.
Something's not.
So if you center them left to right, make sure that you have enough room to close it and they don't get hung up. No impingement. And then top to bottom, you've got basically the same amount of border on each side. I like to do 1/4 of an inch, but you might like more or less. And then the center one, I laid it down, made sure both of these could close over the top of it. And then just made sure that I was overlapping each about the same distance. And then glued that one down. Oh, I need to go back and do my thumb notches. That's what I forgot.
Something's not working out.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so that one goes there. And that one goes there.
I'm going to do the bottom thumb notch first because I think...
Goes there.
Oh, no, it'll be covered. So I think that I can kind of sort of line them up if I do that, but it's covered, so...
Okay, which is supposed to overlap which?
The right one is, which is the center one. There's only one on the right.
Uh-huh.
That one goes underneath. So the two on the left, the top and the bottom, are on top.
Okay.
So the center one goes underneath, the top and the bottom go over it. Honestly, you could fold them any way you want. You know, but because I just looking at this going, what if I put the top one down and then I put the center one down and then I put the third one down? Now I could see,
They flip
now you
right.
can see that my thumb notches aren't lined up because I didn't do them first. That's why that's why I'm not going to do that, because the thumb notches aren't lined up. And I want those to be lined up. I could probably do it on this one, though. Probably. Let's see. Top one down, and then the center one. Once you get tags in there, too, you can't really see the thumb notches. So that would work. You could do flip the small one, flip the middle one, flip the large one. That works. Or you can flip the middle one and then put the large and the small over it. I need to find my piece of paper now to cover this. I'm going to keep these because I have scrappy things to do with those. All right, so let's see. Do I want to do that? I don't know. What's on the back? I don't know. Ooh, that's like a crossword puzzle. What's on the back? That's solid. What's on the front? Could do that. It's kind of brown. Could have used another one of these and then done a mint one on the bottom. Let's see. I think I have something else that's minty color. Or looks awfully green compared to that. No, don't like that. How about this brown with flowers? That'll be pretty. Yeah, that goes really nice with the rust. That makes it look like patina and rust. I like that. I like it. All right. Did you get your pockets on okay, Danny?
I'm working on it.
Okay, so let's see here.
Look at this.
Not lining up?
Well, no, it's not. Something's not. It should be 1, 2, 3. It shouldn't be 1, 3, 2. Right?
What do you mean? The size of them?
No, the way they flip.
It should be 1, 3, 2. If you have the center one down first, and then the large one and the small one over it, then yes, it'll flip the top one, the bottom one, and then the center. Yeah, that is
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that brown, Glynis. That looks a lot like rust up against these, and it makes that look a lot like patina. I think I will use that. Okay, so I think that needs to be probably 5 1/4. I'm going to pull out a ruler. Ah! Oop, 5 1/4 will be a hair too long. 5 1/4 minus a hair. That's what it'll be. All right. You could tear these pages too instead of cut them. But I
Okay.
do want them to be straight. Okay, so then we know that top to bottom it's 8 1/2, right? Because it's an 8 1/2 by 11 piece of paper. Do you have a ruler handy, Debbie, or not?
I do.
Okay, so if you flap everything open.
I'm doing mine different.
Oh, okay.
I'm
All right. Then you
going
know how to.
rough.
All right, so I'm going to go 5 1/4 minus a hair. Let's see if that fits. Perfect. All right, now we'll just get it top to bottom. 8 1/2. And if I want not very much, I'm not even going to measure that. I'm just going to do a little bit. Turn it this way. Okay. A little bit more. Aw. Goody.
No, cat. No.
Mom.
Mom. Mom. That's awesome. Hi. 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 Totally sounds like that, doesn't it? Hi, I'm here, Mom. I just want to say hi to our friends. And she's like, hi, can you tell Mom to let me in? Hi. Oh my goodness.
Doggone.
Oh. I think it was Margie posted that little thing on the group where the cat's at the door, just like your door. I tagged you in it.
Oh, I haven't even.
Oh yeah, I tagged you in it. It's a post. Cat's at the door. It's just so you. Margie put your name on it too. Like the cat's there, whiny, whiny, whining. You open the door for the cat to come in. The cat looks at you and turns and walks away.
Yep.
It's like they want in until you go fine, and then I don't want it.
I didn't really want in here.
Yeah. I just wanted to show you who's in charge.
I went in earlier, but there was nobody in here, and I was like, and then she left, and I hadn't seen her all day. She went and hid somewhere.
Oh, that's funny.
Probably mad at me.
Why? Because you left yesterday?
There was nobody in the room. Yeah, well, that too. There's nobody in the room, and
It's no fun going in the room if nobody's there. And you're the only one that ever goes in there, so you're supposed to be in there. It's your fault.
mhm. Yep. Yep, it was.
Oh. Here, kitty, kitty. I agree, Judy. I just think she sounds like she's saying, Mom, 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 Hello. Hi. All right. So I'm score taping my large piece. Probably wouldn't, I don't know, probably wouldn't need to put enough glue on it to make it warpy, but I just feel like if I do this, then I know, whoops, and I know for sure it's not going to have any warp in the paper. Because we all know sometimes I get a little overzealous and overglue it. Can't overglue it with score tape. Although I could put a little bit, I'm going to remember, put a little bit of glue on it to give me that little bit of wiggle, hopefully. Let's put it down, have just a second to adjust it if needed.
Okay.
Why are you double gluing it? I'm not. I'm just giving myself wiggle room when I put it down. So we went on a date last night. I know it's 8 o'clock. It's time to quit. We did. He made me quit packing orders and doing invoices and go on a date. He took me to Off-Broadway Theater.
Wow, that sounds fun.
Was good. I know that sounds really big, but it's this little local company called Off-Broadway Theater, which is awesome. They do these, small productions in small theaters, and they're good. It was fun. It was called The Drowsy Chaperone.
Okay.
Drowsy because she keeps something tucked in her shirt, to drink all the time. Okay, that is not wiggling around. It was really good. We had a lot of fun.
That's good. One year I made for Rodney's birthday, I made the river dance was in town.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to go, but he did not want to go.
So for his birthday, you got tickets.
Well, I didn't because the tickets were high. They were kind of high.
Yeah, oh yeah, they
So
are.
I made up tickets. So they looked real.
And he's like, oh.
And so I gave it to him as his birthday present. He was like, "What?
You couldn't make me do that?" Oh,
He
that
goes-
would have been the best gag in the world.
He's like, "How is this my birthday present?" Well, it is.
It's your birthday, so I get a present, honey.
He goes, "I don't want to go." I said, "Well, you're going."
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Sandy made 2. Yay, Sandy. Post them in the group. Hashtag SNL Flippy Folio. Actually, no, that should be Flippy Pocket Folio, huh? Because it's the pockets that are flippy. Flippy Pocket Folio. Hashtag SNL Flippy Pocket Folio. Thanks for coming, Sandy, and I'm so glad you made some. Can't wait to see them. All right, so there's that one. I'm trying to decide whether I want to round those corners. I think I might want to round those corners. I feel like they need to be decorated, but don't usually do that till it's time to use it. But I'm going to have to do something in here. I want to leave it for journaling room, but I'm going to have to do something. I need to fussy cut out some of these roses and just put them on here. Hello. Hi. Mom. Oh, she's cute. She hasn't even been doing it all night either. She just started a little bit ago. Love a kidder, but my daughter gave me Alaskan Malamute. Oh my goodness. Yes, she would.
Those are huge.
She would kill a cat. For sure. Yeah. That's wise, Judy. That's wise. Well, if they're around them from the beginning, from the time they're young, they probably would be okay with it, don't you think?
It just depends. We had a pit bull when we brought that kitten home, and I'm telling you what, he adopted that kitten.
Really? Even after the kitten was, even after he was grown, and the kitten was a baby?
Yes, they were best buds.
Oh, wow. I would think, if
They were
both
best
young.
buds. They were best buds. I'm telling you. And when I had to put him down. You think I'm kidding? She didn't come near me for like a year.
Wow.
She blamed me because I left the house with him and didn't come back with him.
Larissa's cat saying, ma'am, ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am.
No,
Ooh, Toby did a map. That's cool, Toby. Cut the map in half. So when you open it, did you do the pockets out of map too? That's a great idea. There's another video where a cat pretends to have a sore paw, and as soon as it steps through the door, it magically healed.
oh yeah.
Cats are smart. Cats are really smart. They know how to get what they want. The flaps, the map joins together. Oh, that's cool, Toby. Cannot wait to see pictures of that. Hi, Dawn. I didn't see you come in earlier if you have been here a while already. Oh. All right. Put that down a little harder there. All right. Well, Candy probably whipped out about a dozen.
No, I've been doing mine different.
Have you? How'd you do them?
Well,
Let's see.
I did two like you did.
Okay. And then started doing some variation.
So
Oh, I like the black and white.
with the pocket,
Ready?
with the
Yes.
pocket there,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
this one, I did it with the flip out here,
I love that.
and then the pockets.
Uh-huh.
So those are about the same. And oops, let me put this back.
Love that.
This one, I put
Yeah.
folded it over, so
Turn it
you
off,
can't
yep.
put your third one here. So I've just did them here.
Mm-hmm. And you could still put a piece of paper down there.
Yeah, I
to
just
do
haven't done that yet.
journaling paper. Yeah, I like it. I love all the variations.
This one,
See, you guys, this is the thing. You learn just a basic a template of anything. And then, like Toby did it with a map, and the maps join together when you flip them. Look at Candy's done 3 or 4 variations already just while we're sitting here. So just learn one basic template, and you can make so many different things out of it. Love those, Candy. Those are awesome.
Thanks.
And look, Candy's got different sizes too.
oh yeah, that's why
Some
mine.
paper that was smaller, so she made it smaller.
Yep.
Go in a smaller journal. That's cool. Or by itself.
Yeah.
You could actually turn it into a journal. When you open one of those, I just thought you could put a little signature of paper right in there.
Right here, I put one right here.
Yep. And still have all kinds of pockets and And
Or a
it's
tablet here. You know.
Yeah.
That's what.
love that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
So.
Like that a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, they do too. Debbie, are you done to the point of showing it or not yet?
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
Not.
just checking.
No, I'm not.
Okay, that's all right. You can put a picture in later. It's cool. Yeah, Dawn, you can slip this into a journal. You can use it on its own as a folio. Uh-oh, what happened there? Or you can glue the back down on a journal page. And this is just the basic template. You know, if you glue that down and you flip this open, then you've got the flippy flappy pockets. But you know, once you've got the basic down, you could put all kinds of things here. You could put things on the back. You could put things on here. You know, we had to cut these papers. That mine was 12-inch paper. I had to cut it down. Instead of cutting it down, Candy took it and folded it over and made tuck spots on them. That's perfectly brilliant. You could also, instead of cutting it down this way, fold the bottom up and make a pocket there that goes underneath these. So when these are all open, there's a pocket right there. I mean, you saw it. Candy did 3 or 4 variations right there. So just get the basic template down, and then you can change anything about it that you want. They'd be a great little folio by themselves, like this one that's with thicker paper. And I put 2 score marks in to give it a little bit of a spine. It'd be super easy to sew in a signature of paper there and let it be its own. Actually, this would be a good one to put a hole there and make it traveler's notebook style. So you could replace that all the time because it's really thick and heavy duty. It would last even to carry it with you as a notebook. Use it as a notebook, tucking receipts and coupons and notes into the different pockets. I would put another pocket on here to be able to tuck in the side up front. I'd probably put something on the back for quick tuck right there. And I would put inside here, I'd maybe put a tearaway pad or something. But that would be a nice size one to keep. And then when it's empty or full of writing, you could just take it out, slip another quick signature in there. If you did put the stretchy band in there, made it like a traveler's notebook. So yeah, tons of things you could do with those. Yeah, candy, what a great grouping. I totally agree. A petting journal. Oh, yeah, a good travel journal. Exactly. If you like to take one with you when you travel that just is about that weekend or that week or whatever it is, and then just keep that. And so you have a separate one for each travel thing. I know a lot of people do that. They do a journal for each trip. Cat's still out there calling to you.
Yeah.
All right. It is 8:17. Quick question. How many of you use doilies in your journals? How about Monday we do like 10 different ways to use doilies in journals?
Are you talking about cloth doilies or paper doilies or?
Probably could be either, but I'm talking about paper doilies. Just in case somebody doesn't have cloth, everybody can get paper doilies because they always have them at like Dollar Tree or wherever. Yeah, paper doily. I agree, Judy. They would make an awesome gift, wouldn't they? Yeah, so Monday, let's do like 10 different ways. Maybe we can get through 10. We struggle to get through 10 of anything in the 2 hours and show you how to do it. But
just different ways to use doilies.
Different ways to use doilies in a journal. If we don't get through enough, we'll do some on another day too. And then don't forget, put May. It is May. Put next Saturday, May 7th on your calendar. Don't leave us hanging here alone. May 7th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Mountain Time. We are going to be here live. At least I'm going to be sitting here live playing games by myself if I have to. I've got games already. Admin is helping me get them organized for crafting games. So we're going to have games ready to go. Some bingo. We'll be putting some bingo cards in the group so that you can print them out to play bingo live with us. It's going to be a scrap busting day. So if you're home all day, you can put us on all day long and pull out your scraps of doilies, scraps of lace, paper doilies, fabric doilies, lace, paper strips, tiny paper, like these things that I just punched off. I got something to do with those. All kinds of, whether it's the strips, whether it's the large pieces, whatever it is. I have a full list of scrap busting ideas. So if you're sitting here hanging out with us all day long, it will be a productive day. We're going to have a ton of fun. I've got a box of prizes that we're going to do a bunch of giveaways for Happy Paper People birthday celebration. You got to bring your own cake. Everybody bring your cake at an appointed time. We'll sing happy birthday and blow out the candle, right? And what else? Yeah, just bring your scraps and be ready to laugh and play games. The more people that are here, the funner the games are. So we've got 4 or 5, I think, if I remember right, 4 or 5 games ready to go. So I know the year is almost halfway over. Halfway over. You can make paper lace with border punches. Yes, Laura, that works too. Absolutely. Have some, I don't know where they are. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, oh, good. Judy, pull out your doilies. So, yeah, we're going to look at a bunch of different ways to use paper doilies in journals on Saturday or Monday. And then Saturday's the birthday party. But we talked about starting doing a journal and making a journal start to finish together. And so I'm getting that organized so you'll know exactly what you need. It'll be a simple journal. So if you've never made one before, if you've never made signatures, if you've never bound the signatures, sewn them by hand, we're not talking about needing a sewing machine or anything, but bound them into a book, made the cover, the whole bit. We're going to make a journal start to finish just using paper. And oh, there's Miss Glynis. Good timing.
Hello.
Judy, get home.
Oh, hello.
Hey, did you enjoy the grandkids?
We were playing games. We had a great time.
Oh, good for
Awesome.
you. We were just talking about playing games for the birthday party on May 7th. So that will be fun. So yeah, so we're gonna make a journal, start to finish together. We'll do the cover, the signatures, we'll sew it in, we'll do all of that, and then we'll be able to use all the different things that we've been mass making. We've been mass making since January. Can you believe it? January, February, March, April. That's 4 months with at least 4 weeks a month. We have mass made 16 things. That's crazy. I know. That's crazy. See if you've got those organized where you can find all those 16 things, because we're going to use those things to decorate this journal that we're going to make together. So I'm getting it organized, and I think we'll do it on, well, I have not decided. It'll be on Monday, so we can do it back to back on a Monday, or it'll be on a Saturday Night Live. But I'm not sure which. It's going to take more than one. It's going to take more than one live to make it, more than 2 hours. But I will give you ahead of time a list of paper that you could have, like 30 different types of paper. You don't have to have it all. It's just ideas of different types you can use. I don't have it all. I won't use them all, but maybe you didn't think of a certain kind, like map pages. Toby used map pages tonight. Map pages are great in journals. So maybe you have a map page laying around. You could use it. Things like that. So I'll be getting that to you. As soon as I have this all organized, we'll start that. And it'll be in the next week or two. It'll be pretty quick. Pretty quick. So, we'll have an empty journal. Oh, because you didn't do the mass makes, Margie. I will send you one of each mass make, Margie, for your journal. I will. Oh, that's funny, because I got a whole little pouch of every single one of them. All right, guys, I need to go spend a little time with my family, my honey and little Lucy girl. It's we're a little bit over. So thanks for hanging with us tonight. This was fun.
Oh, so I'm going to catch up by myself?
Yep. Yeah. Well, now you can go back and put it on from the beginning, what you didn't hear.
I did that already.
Oh, you did on the way home?
Yep.
Now you got to make a few of them so that you can post them in the group.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're fun. And yeah, they're so versatile. You can use them in so many different ways. So
they do need more flip outs. They need at least 2 more flip outs.
Well, we just said right before you logged on, I don't know if you saw Candy's, the ones that Candy made.
I'll go back and look at that.
Okay. Yeah. Just before you logged on, Candy showed hers. This is the basic template. And the whole idea of anything that you make is get the basic template down, know how it goes. And then you take it, and Candy showed you what you do with it. You add this, you add that, you do this, you do that. But just get the basic template down. Because
so I've got to make, how many can you make? 4?
She did 5 or 6. She's completed 5 at least.
So I've got to make at least 5.
but she did 2 like I did, the basic template, and then she did all kinds of variations that are awesome. So, but then they're the kind of things that you're thinking of too. So we're rogue one.
Well, I like having more flips.
Oh, I do too. But you've got to people have to get the basic template down first before can add everything else. So once you've got that, you can add on the inside, the back side, underneath the pockets, put a flip up, put a flip down, put a pocket here. You know, put some here, put a flip up here and a pocket underneath it, put a flip or a pocket on the back. All kinds of it. She even had another a whole other section out here that folded in. So that flipped out, and then there's pockets and flips inside that. So yeah. Awesome. Can't wait to see pictures of everybody's. Glad you made it back, Glynis. Safely in the last 5 minutes at least. It was good to hear
Yeah.
you.
Thumbs
Glad
up, ladies.
I was able to say hello, everybody.
Thumbs up. Yes, thank you. Thank you for remembering. Guys, can you please give us a thumbs up? We do appreciate that. We will see you back here Monday at noon Mountain Time with Kitty at the door, calling everybody. So that's the cutest. See you back here Monday at noon for lots of ways to use doilies, paper doilies in journals.
Oh, good.
Okay? Awesome.
Okay, love you.
Love you all. Have a great rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye, all.